Hi everyone, welcome back to another Facebook Live. Today we are celebrating episode 12. I cannot believe we've been doing this now for 3 months, and I could not be more excited about today's topic. Many of you probably saw me live in the Christopher Ranch fields this week. I had such a great time getting to know the Christopher family, learning more about garlic. So of course today we're celebrating garlic and we're preparing a Christopher family recipe. So it is all about garlic today, and when you see the name Christopher Ranch, we've got their logo placed right here in the broadcast, so you can see their logo right there in the, let's see, that'd be the bottom right hand of your screen. When you see that logo or when you see the name Christopher Ranch, you know it's grown in California. Had a great time with Ken, Eric, Harold, all of their whole family tree works at the family farm. I absolutely enjoyed myself. So thank you guys so much again for having me out and letting the produce moms be part of, telling your story. So let's get started today. We are, and if you guys can hear us well, give us a like and a heart. If you love garlic, thumbs up, heart for that, right? We're going to start today. Obviously, you can look at this beautiful lineup and you can see we've got basil, we have parsley, we have spinach, we have pine nuts, and of course we have garlic. Of course, that means we're making a pesto. So this is a recipe from Ken and Eric Christopher themselves. A little fun fact about the Christopher Ranch farm, it was their great-grandfather. So I spent most of my time with Ken and Eric. That's who you guys saw in the photos and in the videos and the Instagram stories that we did this week. So it was their great-grandfather came to the U.S. from Denmark, and he started farming prunes. And then he had decided, I'm going to try something else. And Gilroy, California has the perfect Mediterranean climate. And so he started farming garlic. Started with 10 acres, and today they're at 5,500 acres. So quite the incredible success story for an American family-owned farm. And they're still family-owned and operated today. And it was just, I'm telling you, I cannot wait for the upcoming garlic season. So let's get started. I'm going to show you first. You guys can see here I've got some garlic cloves that I have already peeled. I have them in a mason jar because I'm going to actually show you how my kitchen hack for getting garlic from the bulb form to this form. So you got your mason jar. You do need one with the lid. I like the bigger ones for this. You can use a different size, but I think this is best. And then you're just going to kind of shake it up. It's going to be loud. And we're going to do this. And you can see how it's falling apart already? All right, let's keep going. Great. It's like the new age shake weight. Oh, we're almost there. You can see in the mason jar the garlic head's falling apart, and you can see how some of the cloves are already peeled. Takes about 20 seconds. All right, we are done. And out comes perfectly peeled Christopher Ranch garlic cloves. Isn't that amazing? The whole clove. So you just kind of break through the skins. I learned when I was at the farm with the Christopher family, I learned this is actually called chaff. So, and of course they are the most sustainable farms ever. The chaff, while in our home kitchens it might be considered trash, at Christopher Ranch, that the chaff of all their garlic, because at their farms they have, you've probably seen it, and I should have brought some on set with me today. Sorry, I just got home from California last night, and it was such a pleasant surprise. I came home to a surprise party that my husband planned. All my nieces and nephews were here. It was so fun. So fortunate to be celebrating another year of life, 37 years old. Couldn't be more happy about just living another day. It's like life is good. But needless to say, with the surprise party waiting for me when I got off the plane, I didn't have a whole lot of time to shop. But no worries. We'll be showing you we'll link it in the comments. Kristen's here today, so we'll link it in the comments right now. Some of the other products that Christopher Ranch grows. They have minced garlic. They have chopped garlic. They have garlic in the in the tubes. They have roasted garlic. They have a really good pesto sauce if you don't want to make your own. But we'll go ahead. We're going to start by just chopping up some garlic here. And I'm going to actually be putting this all in a food processor, so you don't have to get a real perfect chop on this because the food processor will continue to chop it. And if you guys have any questions, drop them in the comment section. This pesto recipe, we will have a recipe card that we will share after the broadcast as well, so that you guys can make it. I love that it is the Christopher family's recipe card. So we've got 5 cloves of garlic that we're chopping up. I do believe that garlic is the start of all good dishes. I have been saying that all week, and I do believe that very much. There's nothing like fresh garlic. You know, one of our most popular recipes on theproducemoms.com is our crock pot recipe for roasted garlic. So that's another one we will drop in the comments for you. Okay, let's start assembling this. Get the garlic in here. So again, 5 cloves of garlic. Into the food processor it goes. If you don't have a food processor, there are other ways you can make homemade pesto. You can use a blender. You can use if you just have one of those automatic choppers, you can use that. You can even use a mortar pestle. And that's probably it. You really do, to get the good emulsification of all these flavors, you do kind of need a kitchen tool of some sort. I really don't think a hand whisk would do it. But all right, so right here we've got this just spinach. So we're going to do one big bunch of spinach. We did the leaves only. It's a little wet still from when I washed it. That's no big deal. All right. And then right here we have some curly parsley. You could use Italian parsley if you like. Parsley is a real superfood. People don't necessarily realize that. And basil, lots of basil. Okay. So that kind of takes care of it for the greens. You guys, you can do this to taste. We will provide the recipe card, but if you really like that zesty lemony flavor from the parsley, or if you really love the basil, just add more. No big deal. Use recipes as a starting point. You should always make your recipes your own. These are pine nuts, Parmesan cheese, grated. And then this is olive oil and grapeseed oil. And I really think that's the Christopher family secret. Use both. And the other reason the grapeseed oil is great, it's got a higher cooking temperature than your olive oil. So if you want to heat this up on the stove and then serve it over your pasta, that works awesome. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll start pulsing this. And then once it is finally chopped up, see, that's why I didn't worry so much. I mean, the garlic is all chopped up real well. That's why it's not, you really could have just put in the whole cloves if you want, but I wanted to show you guys how to chop your fresh garlic. All right, and then we'll just stream through here. Hopefully I will get it through so I don't have to take the lid off. There we go. Looks so good. Smells so good. All right, it looks so good, you guys. Now, I'm going to serve this on pasta, so I am also going to add a little bit of the pasta water. I pre-cooked some linguine. This is a totally optional step, but in my opinion, that pasta water is a great way to, for pasta, if you're doing a homemade pasta sauce, the pasta water just kind of brings it all together and helps bind whatever sauce you're making to the actual pasta. So let's go ahead and, oh my goodness, it smells so good. The aroma when I took that lid off was amazing. It smells so good. So this is what ours looks like. hopefully, Ken and Eric, this is what yours looked like when you made it at home. I have not made this recipe yet. This was my first time to make it. I'm telling you, it is absolutely amazing smell.
Lori, we have a quick question.
Yes, who's the question from?
The question is from Christy.
Hey, Christy.
She wants to know if you have any tips on what to look for when selecting garlic at the grocery store.
Good question. Well, first and foremost, you look for grown in the USA. And if it's grown, and then you can also look for that Christopher Ranch logo. It tells you, because not all garlic is created equal. I learned that. You can have the utmost confidence in Christopher Ranch garlic. It's what I choose for my family. I know it's grown in California. I know it's from the USA when I see that logo. And I also know it's family farmed, which is great. And so that would be step one. Step two, you want to white. White is that's a scoreable feature from the USDA. You want white garlic. You want it to be intact and the cloves are tight. So like, see how this one, it's perfectly white all the way around. It's tight and closed in the chaff. And then when you crack it open here, you're not seeing any, there's no green in the, coming out. That happens when your garlic is really aged. But that's a great question, Christy. And really the number one and two things you need to look for is we want to make sure we're getting USA grown garlic, because the farming practices are so superior than anywhere else in the world. And when you see the name Christopher Ranch, you know it's coming from Gilroy, California. So, all right. Hopefully that answers your question. And you know what? I would guess that probably, hopefully Ken and Eric are watching. I should have texted them, but I would assume they're watching. They're pretty excited about today's Facebook Live. Christopher Ranch, we'll have them also answer that question for you, Christy, in the comments, because I learned so much this week from them. They are just a wealth of knowledge of all things garlic. So, all right. You know what? Let's move this processor so you guys have a better view. Maybe if I can get this thing unplugged. Maybe not. Okay. I can't get the thing unplugged. So you know what I'll do? I'll just put it right here on the floor. There we go. Awesome. Okay. Out of the way. Let's bring over our pasta, and we'll go ahead and start pouring some of this on here. I've got to take care of the mise en place. That's what they call it in cooking. I cannot stand a cluttered tabletop. Okay, so just pour it straight from the food processor. I mean, you could certainly put this into a serving dish of your liking. Okay, and then I am going to reserve some of this for this serving dish here. Looks so good. Okay, so I've got 4 servings of pasta measured out here. Can you guys smell that in the kitchen, or is it just me because I'm so close? I mean, it is so aromatic.
It smells amazing.
It does smell amazing. Okay. One of these days, I'm going to get Kristen on camera with me. If you haven't joined our Facebook group, you can join our group page. I actually put her on the group page before the broadcast. She was not thrilled. She looks adorable today, though, wearing her Indiana Pacers t-shirt. So hopefully all you basketball fans out there are loving the success of our hometown team. They play tonight, right?
Yep, going.
Oh, you're going?
Yeah.
Okay, so now I pre-cooked this. So this is not necessarily, this is probably a room temperature pasta at this point. But look at how delicious that looks. You know what I would add to this on top? Let's talk about some of the things you could top this with. I would top it with olives, would be so good. Artichoke hearts, chicken. You guys have any ideas? Drop them in the comments. More Parmesan cheese, of course. Garlic. So easy, so good. This would be fantastic for a pasta salad too. We're going to eat this, and like I said, since I pre-cooked the pasta, it's more of a room temperature. But if you did a chilled pasta salad, this would be absolutely delicious. And then another tip.
Somebody said they would add grape tomatoes.
Ooh, grape tomatoes would be fantastic. I agree. I wish I would have reserved some of the pine nuts and parm to garnish this, but I didn't. I put it all in the sauce. So I'll just garnish it with a couple basil leaves there. That looks so good. You know what we should do? In honor of the Christopher family, I'll chop up a couple more garlic cloves here and we'll sprinkle them on top. Favorite ways for you guys to use garlic? I mean, how do you not use garlic? It's more like it, right? Anybody have any unique ways or recipe ideas for how you like to use it? Kristen, what about you? Garlic bread?
Garlic bread. Definitely something my kids will eat.
Yeah, I know.
Anything Italian.
I know, right? It's such a good meal. So another thing I learned from the Christopher family, and it's another reason why I love to recommend their garlic is very dense. And with that density, you know, you don't have a hollowed, there you go, sprinkling some love. Fresh California garlic from Christopher Ranch. So good.
We have Jeanette who says she likes to put her garlic with sauteed mushrooms.
That sounds so good, Jeanette.
And then Pamela said she likes to roast whole cloves with lemon wedges and make a dip for roasted artichokes.
Oh my word. Pamela, you need to share the recipe, or we need to do a side-by-side Facebook Live where you actually do the cooking, because that sounds amazing. Roasted artichokes, roasted garlic, lemons, and artichoke hearts. Did I hear that?
It just says it's a dip for roasted artichokes.
Yum. So like an aioli. Yes, delicious. Okay. And then you'll see I have some here. This homemade pesto is such a great and easy way to elevate your appetizers. So certainly using your pastas for your main courses. Dress up your pasta however you want. But this homemade pesto is a great way to really elevate the spreads that you would serve, like on a charcuterie board or any appetizer plate that you have. So good. I'm going to have to take a bite. Sorry. It's delicious. Amazing. I would add more garlic. I can't believe, actually, that the Christopher family sent us a recipe for pesto. It was just 5 garlic cloves. So shame on you guys. You know you always double the ingredient for whatever you grow. Just kidding. But this is so good. Actually, the garlic is probably the perfect... it doesn't overpower the pesto. So the 5 cloves is really spot on. Any other questions, you guys?
No, Alex just said that her husband roasts them whole and then uses garlic almost like a spread on steaks.
I've done that too, Alex. Does he do it like this, where he cuts the top off?
We'll find out.
Like this, so it exposes the cloves? Because that's how I've done it, and then I drizzle it with olive oil, and I'll just put it on the roasting pan, and then you can just kind of like squeeze it out, almost like how you squeeze a lemon once it's roasted. So good. And the recipe that we have on the producemoms.com for the crock pot roasted garlic, that it gives you the garlic that is soft like that, so that you can squeeze it like you would almost like a ketchup bottle.
It's already in the comments.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Look at Kristen on it today. Always, she's on it. All right. Any other questions? I think I should probably try the pasta too. Not that you guys are tuning in to watch me eat, but I just can't help it.
Now it said yes, just like that.
Just like that, Alex?
Yep.
All right. Good. Well, look at how good this looks. All right. Oh, and you know what? Did you guys know that yesterday was National Garlic Day? I was a little sad that I was not able to actually celebrate National Garlic Day with the Christopher family, but we pre-partied for it. So look at how delicious that is.
Beautiful.
Bow tie pasta and a pasta salad would be so good with this as well. Cavatappi, any noodle that, you know, it's not a super chunky, it's a really emulsified sauce, so really any pasta of your choice would be perfect on. All right, any other questions? If not, no. We're going to sign off. We're going to invite you to next week's Facebook Live. And of course, we have to thank the Christopher family for not only growing the world's best garlic, but also for all you've done to educate me and our followers on garlic. So the new crop, California garlic season, you guys, we're about 8 weeks away. And believe it or not, Christopher Ranch this year is expecting their best crop ever. So we're really excited to help them celebrate that. Could be up to 100 million pounds. That's a ton of garlic. So we'll be sharing all sorts of ways where you can use that delicious California grown garlic. Thank you all for tuning in. Please help us keep this going by, interacting with our posts, giving it a like, a heart, sharing it with your friends. We really appreciate you tuning in and being part of our community. So thank you so much. We'll see you next Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern.